Welcome back to week 5 of the 100 Book Challenge. If this is your first time joining me on this channel, check out the link below for the100bookchallenge.com to see how you can start your own challenge. But for those of you that have been with me since the beginning, this is week 5 and we have a little less than 8 weeks to go before the challenge is complete. This week has been one of the toughest for me as far as days I was actually able to get out and source, but I came back with 105 books still. We'll talk a little more about the numbers for that and how that all played out. We'll also talk about revenue up until this point and how much it's cost up to this point. What's the total amount that I've invested in the books I bought in the first 5 weeks of this challenge. So stay tuned for all those in this update of the 100 Book Challenge. This week was the toughest yet as far as my schedule went. The first 2 days I had to take care of my baby because my wife was working and our daycare stuff fell through for this last week. So those 2 days were gone. Easter, nothing was open. And then the fourth day, I did go out, but I only came back with 4 books. So I'm not really counting that fourth day. So this week I really only sourced for 3 days, but luckily I still came back with 105 books. And even though it was the worst week as far as how many days I went out, it was the best week as far as how much time I spent. Total time from sourcing all the way through listing the books and getting them all boxed up was about 10 hours, the least amount of time I've spent up to this point, and I still got the 100 books that I needed. My accept rate was a little over 5%, so it was the highest accept rate that I had. The downside to it was that the numbers for this week were the lowest they've been as far as the profitability of the books. The good thing is that I'm not worried about it because the first few weeks I had a lot higher numbers than I was anticipating. This week's a little lower than I was anticipating, but it wasn't horrible. List price total was $1,900 this week, and the total profit, estimated profit, was $780. Now I really want that profit to be preferably around $900 to $1,000 minimum. So profit was a little bit lower, but like I said, I had more in the previous week, so I'm not too worried about it. And then finally, buy cost. The average buy cost this week was $1.25, which is lower than it's been in any prior week. So at least I spent less since the profit was a little bit lower. But the average sales rank for all the books that I listed this week was in the high 300s. So very low average sales rank. Most of these books should hopefully turn really quickly. And I can get this money hopefully a lot faster than some of the other weeks of the profit that was projected. So hopefully I'll see that number back in my bank account sooner than later, even though it's a lower number. Revenue up to this point has been $1,221. That's from the first 5 weeks. Now, even though I've listed somewhere, I think it's around 550 books total, only around 300 of those books have actually gone active in inventory so far. I've still got that one box from week 2 held up and receiving that I'm trying to get figured out. All of this week's box were just sent out, and only one box from last week has arrived and is actually active in inventory. So 300 books have been active, and 62 units have sold. Then the cost up to this point has been $1,078. The cost has been a little higher than I was hoping for. It averaged around $1.99 for all the books that I've gotten up to this point. But that's just because some of the sources I've been going to have a little bit higher cost books. So the cost of the books has gone up from where I originally wanted it to be. But $1,221 has really just taken off. If you remember last week, the total revenue was only $666. So it's a lot higher this week. And actually, Easter Day, I was expecting to be a little lower in sales. Normally holidays tend to be a little lower in sales. But I logged on late at night right before I went to bed and saw that I had the biggest sales day I've had up to this point. It's somewhere around $360 on Easter, and then it's slowly gone down from there. But a lot of that happened in a single day, which is really cool to see, especially when a lot of those books started going active. That's when the sales started picking up. So hopefully these books will keep going active, and that number will keep raising at an increasing rate so we can get close to the goal of $10,000 by the end of this 90-day challenge. I'm happy with the revenue so far. I'm happy with how the pace is picking up. I was a little slower than I was hoping it would be at the start, but now that these books are starting to go active, that number is climbing very quickly, and so I'm hoping it'll keep that momentum and get me closer to the $10,000 mark I'm hoping to be at by the end of this challenge. So thank you for joining me for the week 5 update of the 100 book challenge. Leave any questions you have for me in the comments below, or anything you want to know about these numbers or about your numbers. I'd be happy to talk about it. Good luck scouting in week 6, and I'll be talking to you guys again soon.